Opening night here on the Charlotte FC Radio Network. Will Palaszczuk, Jessica Charman back here for the start of year 3.
The newest broadcast duo on the pro sports landscape in North Carolina is one you've only heard on the radio side. Will Palaszczuk and Jessica Charman have been the only tandem in the brief history of Charlotte FC calling every MLS match in the club's history. Palaszczuk was in the mix early, lined up to be a part of the launch before there was a launch.
When the call comes, hey, we want you to do play-by-play, it almost was like, okay, let's go, I'm ready.
The Long Island native has always been a fan of the game, even playing it growing up. While attending the University of Missouri, Palaszczuk knew he wanted to be a broadcaster, and when he chose the path towards sports, he never looked back. Now that he's the radio voice of the MLS club, it makes the journey that much sweeter.
This is kind of what I wanted when I went to college, when I went to, all those long nights studying, and when I was sitting in Farmington, Missouri, trying to figure out whether I wanted to be a country DJ or a sports director or go host a sports talk radio show. I mean, it feels very much like a culmination of a lot of hard work, and I have so much fun every day that I do this. Well, I'm used to having more stuff.
Palaszczuk and Charman are the only male-female broadcast duo among the state's pro teams. Charman played college soccer at Clayton State in Georgia, as well as in the Women's Premier League in England. She was a goalkeeper, and has rocketed to not only being an analyst for the MLS club in Charlotte, but also working with Sirius XM Radio. And Palaszczuk says she's a huge boost to the broadcasts.
She's my savior, honestly. A lot of games where, if something happens and I know the game, but she's lived the game as a player at the highest level.
Will and I have always had a very good dynamic. We met when we did our first trial game. We did a game on little screens. We did a practice game. And I think we already knew there that we had really good chemistry, which is so important when you call games with each other.
While they are comfortable with each other, they have to overcome the challenge of calling all the games, even when they are not on location. All broadcasts originate from Bank of America Stadium, home or away.
Diahara pivots at the center circle, sends it down the right flank toward Vargas.
They use the same booth, but call the action on the road games off of a TV monitor. Maintaining a high-energy call can be tough when they look out the window and see nothing but empty seats.
You have to create your own energy. We get crowd noise fed to us, so that at least helps us kind of feel like we're there. There are a couple times where, it's kind of venue dependent, where you might have the shadows don't hit right, so you might have a hard time recognizing player names and numbers and whatnot. The player intro part is honestly the hardest part, but you just got to trust your prep, trust that the person who is at that spot is supposed to be there.
But when it all comes together and the crowd swells towards a possible goal, it's time for Palaszczuk to do his thing.
They will donate $100 for charity for every corner kick Charlotte has this season. A shot toward the middle, a shot, they score! It's Adilson Malanda who opens the scoring for Charlotte on a set piece.
The one thing you want to have when, at least the way that I would interpret what people want to hear on the radio, is you want to hear somebody who's excited as you are. One of the things that they told me right off the bat is that, we want you to be yourself, but we also don't want you to sound like you're in a library.